Hello everybody and welcome to G8RStreams. Today we're playing through a little bit of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, just for fun, because I'm bored. So yeah, let's get into the game. So basically what we're going to be doing today is that we're just going to be playing around through a couple of these levels. We're going to start off with Mario Galaxy today, and we'll be demonstrating 64 and Sunshine a little bit later. It's just for fun. It's more of a casual stream. Nothing big or epic or anything like that. Like what we're doing with the Breath of the Wild Korok seeds or anything like that. This one's just going to be a bit more for fun. And also kind of a... Hello, Dark Artist. It's also going to be a bit more of a... kind of like a celebration stream as well, because I finished my fall term. So yeah, that's another college term down, and that's fun. So before we get into the game, let's look over stream chat. Hello, the James Rolls. Congratulations on announcing your Epic Yarn Let's Play today. My TV is a little too loud. How's the audio bouncing, by the way? Audio bouncing is on stream is still something I'm trying to get used to. So, if the game could be a little bit louder or anything like that, then please let me know. I can't do much about my own voice if I'm too quiet. I could probably speak louder, but I have neighbors and there's a baby in the house, so I can't be too loud. So, yeah, let's play a little bit of Mario Galaxy, and it's going to be pretty fun. So a bit of a fun story about Galaxy is that, for those of you who don't know, I actually did a Let's Play of this game a couple years ago. And there's still one more bonus video that I would like to do for Galaxy before I'm fully done with that Let's Play. I want to demonstrate Super Luigi Galaxy. And the thing is, I did have a stream showcasing Super Luigi Galaxy. My mindset was that I was going to stream that playthrough, and then we would showcase the very last level during the bonus video. But then they announced 3D All-Stars, and I was like, oh, if I try doing it that way now, it's going to be obsolete on arrival. It's basically the same game, but still, I kind of felt like at the time that if I kept going with that route, then it would be kind of obsolete and wouldn't make all that much sense. Plus, it would be fun to have a video showcasing what is different, because there is a few differences here and there. So that's the big, grand, exciting, epic story of the bonus video that's still not ready yet. I swear, that Luigi Galaxy episode is the new Nintendo Gallery. Hey, old man, are you practicing how to skate too? Well, why don't we play a game? Can you catch me? Time to catch the penguin. You will be my dinner. Do penguins taste good? Like, I imagine they'd probably taste like chicken or something like that, but they're also penguins, and penguins are kind of different from chickens. Not bad, old man. With skating skills like that, you might have a chance. A small chance. Maybe, but a chance. Alright, so we're in Freeze Flame Galaxy right now, and I gotta say, this is one of my favorite galaxies in the entire game, because everything is just so beautiful. You have a really nice contrast between the snowy and the fiery areas. Like, this level will take place in the snow planet, the next one will take place in the fire one. It's really, really cool. There's a similar one in Galaxy 2 called Shiverburn, which I didn't really care that much for at first, but then the Hell Valley Skytree thing became a bit more obvious. I was like, oh, this one's actually kind of cool. Alright, let's take care of you. There's a Goomba right there we're going to destroy in cold blood. James says game audio maybe up a smidge, but it's good. Alright, we can try that. We can turn it up just a little bit. Okay. Alright, the game audio's been turned up. If it's too loud now, please let me know. Or if it's too quiet, then I probably could turn up it a little bit more, but I also kind of don't want to, because I'm really nervous that's going to drown out my voice. Anyway, now we'll be going through here, and now we're all icy and things like that. Ice flower. That was one of the episode names I gave that Let's Play. So, the interesting thing about this is I kind of feel like this is one of the more open planets when it comes to exploration and things like that, because we have a lot of paths that we could take to get up to the mountain. And in general, it's a really, really cool level, no pun intended. I also gotta say, I absolutely love the HD Rumble in this game. They added HD Rumble to all 3 of the games that are playable in 3D All-Stars, and it's really, really cool. Because, like, you get, like, a subtle vibration when you do the shaking ability and things like that. Same thing when you're ice skating. It's really awesome. I think one of my favorite uses of the HD Rumble in a video game for Switch so far. I don't really see this one talked about a whole lot, but I really like how Okami does it. In Okami, they have HD Rumble where you can kind of feel the subtle vibration in the controller whenever Amaterasu is running around. You can like feel the pause running around the controller and things like that. It's really interesting. Alright, continue on over here. So I guess on a self-promotional side of things, we recently started up the 12 Days of Gaming recently. The episode going over BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle came out today. I hope the ones who've been watching those videos, I believe, been liking it so far. I kind of want to make this year a bit more special than usual, considering some certain things that happened throughout 2020, which should go unnamed, but yeah, I really hope that people have been enjoying this. Why can I not get on top of this freaking platform thing? Get up the thing. Get up the thing. Get up the thing. Get up the thing. Close enough. Whee! We're technically going on the secret path right now, but I feel like going this way because I felt like it, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. This is the first time we got a Fireflower in this playthrough? Huh. Well, okay then. So yeah, one of the very few changes that they made to Galaxy in this version, aside from the HD Rumble that I mentioned earlier, they also changed all the buttons so that now they talk about Joy-Con controllers rather than the Wii Remote controls, which makes sense considering that's what you usually do. Although it's a little bit inconsistent because they didn't really do the same with Sunshine. They didn't really need to with Sunshine though, because most of the controller options are the same. But like on this one, it mentions that most of these star pointer controls can also be used with the touchscreen as well. It's a very subtle change, but it's also very well appreciated because there are some ports out there which don't even bother changing the buttons on there. Like I know there's this one really bad 3DS port. I don't know what the game is, but there's a 3DS port that was so poorly made that for all the tutorials it still says the PlayStation controls rather than 3DS controls. So that's something that's pretty interesting. Alright, go over here and go over this one. I do understand the complaints about 3D All-Stars. Like I do understand that a lot of people aren't happy that these are emulations and things like that. Or the quality issues that this version had when 3D All-Stars first came out. Most of those have been patched already. Like they've included options to change to invert the cameras. Most of the Sunshine issues have been fixed out now. I do understand that there are people who are like, why would I pay $60 for 3 ports? But the thing is, like, okay, I do understand that when you compare it to something like the Spyro the Dragon remake, then yeah, it is a little harder to justify. But if the games were already released on Switch, as virtual console releases and things like that, $60 is about as much as you'd pay anyway for these 3 games. And if you were to track down those copies nowadays, it'd be about the same as well. And while I do agree that they probably could have done a little bit more to make these versions updated, honestly, I don't think I would have liked that, because the thing with Spyro Reignited trilogy is that, yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous now, but I kind of prefer the way the PlayStation version looks, and that might seem a little silly, but I kind of like the way that the original style looks and things like that, especially with 64, because I absolutely love the graphics in Mario 64. And even though it would be cool to get an HD version of it someday, for a compilation title, I don't think they'd do that. The Frozen Peak of Barenba. The James Earl says it's been very fun. Entire survey referring to right there, because I don't know when you wrote that, but yay, whatever you're talking about, it has been very fun. If you talk about 3D All-Stars, then yeah, I absolutely love this port. Yeah, I did have a few problems here and there when it first came out and things like that, but for the most part, they've ironed out a lot of the issues. I think the only big thing that I kind of wish that they had, I really wish that 64, that the version they used for that one was the one that had the backwards long jump, because I would have loved to have gotten that. I would have loved to have been able to do that on this version. But I do know that there are some speedrunning tricks that have the same results as a backwards long jump on that version. I don't know exactly how you trigger it, but I know there's like some really fancy trick you can do, so if you're into speedrunning, there is still an option, it's just not what most people use. A bit of a fun story about that is that shortly after I got this version, I ended up getting an actual cartridge for Super Mario 64, because I was really curious to see what it feels like to actually play that with a Nintendo 64 controller, because I actually do have a Nintendo 64. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think I'd still prefer playing it on Switch, just because I feel like it, but it's still pretty interesting. The Nintendo 64 in general is kind of a weird console. Like, the controller itself is really weird, because it has the 3 handle things, and no matter how you hold the controller, you're kind of limited on how many buttons you can push and things like that. It was a very weirdly designed controller, but for the games that were made for it, it works really well. But for other things, not so much. Like if I want an example, it works really well for 64 and Ocarina of Time and Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day and things like that. But for multi-platform games like the Toy Story 2 game, you could definitely tell that it wasn't made with the Nintendo 64 controller in mind. Continue on over here. A bit of a heads up, I should let you guys know that I do have food on the way, so I might have to pause the game in a moment to go grab that. But enough about all that good stuff. How are you guys doing today? You having a good day? Did you brush your teeth? Did you drink eggnog? Did you do something to the thermostat? I don't know. Where did thermostat come from? When I was saying that reminded me think of The Office when Michael Scott was all like, sometimes I'll start a conversation and even I don't know where it's going. Alright, let's continue over here. And let's go this way. Alright, so a big reason why I wanted to stream today is because, I fell off the same way twice! That's unfortunate. Alright, so a big reason why I wanted to stream today is that, first of all, it finished my college term, so I kind of wanted to celebrate. But also because I wanted to record Breath of the Wild stuff later today. And also have a recording session for the collab channel around 9 tonight. But, like, I don't know, I think I kind of needed to record something else to kind of get into the proper mindset of recording games and things like that. Because, like, if I felt like if I tried recording Breath of the Wild right now, then I probably wouldn't be in the proper mindset to record such a big game. Because the recording session that I have in mind right now is kind of a big one, lots of side quests and things like that. So I kind of feel like I need to be in the proper mindset to get into that game and things like that. It's kind of a big reason why I have side projects for that series, because if I was only doing Breath of the Wild, I'd feel burned out so quickly because of how much goes into every single episode. So that's a big reason why I have side projects, so that I can have something else to record to get into the proper mindset of recording that game. I'm sure if I did one project at a time or something like that, then yeah, I could get done a lot faster, but I like having a lot of side projects. Alright, so we have the Baron Burr right here. I always thought this guy looked more like a Kirby villain. Like, doesn't he look like a Kirby villain? I mean, that was a shockwave that blew me off the face of the earth. Alright. We did the thing. Okay, so a bit of a fun story about recording. That also blew me off the thing. Okay, so one fun thing about the recording the Galaxy games is that during Galaxy 2, I had an old capture card that had a lot of lag problems, so what I would do when I recorded Wii games was that try to keep the cursor on screen at all times so that I can see exactly when it starts to lag, and then I can pause the game and wait for the lag problems to stop. So I kind of had to like make it so that I could... Okay, how do I word this? So in the Galaxy games, you can spin by also shaking the nunchuck and things like that. So I kind of felt like I had to do that more so than actually using the Wii remote. So that whenever the cursor was on screen and I shook the Wii remote, the cursor didn't go all flying around like this and things like that. So playing this version is kind of interesting because now I can use a spin by pushing a button. So that's pretty interesting. So I kind of wish that a part of me wishes that I waited to do those Let's Plays until this version came out, but say the fate. Alright, looking at the stream chat. Hello, Agent335. I don't think I've seen you around here before, so hey, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a nice day. Hope you are whatever I said earlier when I was wishing people a good day and things like that. So you're asking how is this versus the original? This is a very, very good port. It's very similar to the original Galaxy, so don't expect a whole lot of big changes and things like that. This game is obviously running in HD, so it visually just looks a lot better. It's a lot easier to play this one nowadays compared to the original, because if you're trying to play the Wii nowadays, you have to have a TV that supports composite output and things like that. Unless you had a Wii U, but it's easier to get a Switch than it is to get a Wii U. What else is there? This is also just a very friendly port in general. If you like video games but you're not a big fan of mouse controls, because most of the mouse controls in this game have also been remapped to a button. Like for example, Mario's spinning attack right here. On the Wii version, that was mapped only to shaking the Wii remote or the nunchuck. So if you're not a big fan of motion controls, you don't have to worry about that because you press the Y button here. You do have the pointer controls, which might throw some people off, but you can also use a touchscreen on that, so it's also pretty convenient as well. We got a star! Exclamation point! Alright, we're gonna save the game real quick, and it looks like food is here, so I'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright, so this is a fun story. My sister came home with Taco Bell, and she told me that it was here, so I went to go look for it, but apparently I'm not supposed to look inside the bag, because apparently it's something to do with the holiday coming up at the end of the year. So, that's fun. Alright, let's look at the chat. Hello, Pancake! How you doing? Say... Sorry, sleepy. Pancake says, now if only they could have done with the Stingray and Ball. Both controls trash. James says, you could have just saved the first sentence, Pancake. As a streamer, did you buy enough to share with the chat? Never. I don't want to share food with you. What I want is bubblegum. Bubblegum. And let's go over this way. I don't remember exactly how to trigger the star to get over here. Ah, okay, it's the star chip things. Star chips were meant to find on the planet in time. Sorry, you know me, spontaneous singing. Okay, that's the third one. Go back up here. Alright, there's two more over there. I can take that. There we go. And now get the next one. And long jump. Who needs those stupid blue launch star things? Long jump! Okay, fine, we'll use the things. I hope you're happy, game. James says all you had to do is save most controls were trash. I like motion controls. I can understand not everybody likes them, but I like motion controls. They're fun. Hello, Threes Productions. How you doing? You're saying good morning. So, yay! If you're baby in the background, I apologize for that. Nothing I can do about that. So let's go over this way. And alright, where do we go now? Let's play this game so you'd think I'd have memories, but I need to go this way. Agent 235 says I've never been a fan of most controls, so maybe the exception of a few Wii games, going this one. Pancake says 3D All-Stars was my first experience with Mario Galaxy. Only ever owned Galaxy 2 as a kid. Threes Production says, I'm doing alright, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I finished my college fall term yesterday, so yay, I feel like I can breathe again. It's so exciting. I apologize if you're a baby in the background. So yeah, I feel like I can like breathe again because these finals were kind of brutal because I took like 15 credits this term, and now I know never to do that again. So yeah, let's go over this way. I think I'm gonna mute my microphone for a moment while baby niece calms down. That was a spiky thing. That hurt my feelings. Alright, so we need to use the fire flower to bounce the fire over there. And then we'll go over this way. Okay, the thing about the fire flower in this game is I kinda don't really like it that much because first of all, it's kind of hard to aim, and it also doesn't last very long, so not the most pleasant power-up in the world. I definitely like how they did it in 3D Land and 3D World a lot better, though. Although it is kind of interesting how it took this long for the fire flower to actually appear in a 3D Mario game at all. Because this didn't appear in 64 or Sunshine or anything like that. Galaxy was the first time that it ever appeared. Alright, let's go over this way. Collect this super shiny little bud. What's the chat say? There's Bruxton says, ooh, college fancy. Quit breathing, Gator, that's illegal. Always breathe. Do crime. Crime is illegal. Yes, this is illegal, you know, stop breaking the law. Breaking the law. I feel so conflicted right now. Alright. Get away from me. Probably don't have enough time to use the rest of the fire. That's this pain. Yeah. Okie dokie. Get back over your platform. Come back. We'll make cupcakes together. They will be delicious. They will have pudding. Probably. Yay! We did the thing and it was shiny. Speedrunning tactics, probably. Alrighty then. We got a power star. Okay, I'm gonna be back in a couple minutes. So we're gonna go on quick intermission, and I know it's very weird to do that this early on the stream, but we will be back in a little bit. Yeah. It's muted. Thank you.
Is Baja Blast okay?
Yeah, I like Baja Blast.
Okay, that's that. I got root beer too, because I like both of them, and I was going to give you whichever one you wanted.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have lots of fun.
Don't give me a side eye.
Okay, I love you.
Okay.
Love you.
Yeah, it wasn't muted. Whoops. Sorry about that. That was muted. No, that was my sister. She was talk about food things. Anyway, yeah, let's continue. Yeah, is everything working? Stream setup. Alright, looks like everything's good. Alright, let's continue. Check the game. Yes, we will. Alrighty then. Saving, do not press the power button. Peter Braxton says the grown-up is back, no more crime. Piggy says the mic wasn't muted. Okay, thank goodness that... Yeah, thank goodness that, okay, well, let's just say that, my siblings and I, we have very, very different senses of humor than what I say on the channel. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go over here. Hot and cold collide. Hello, person on the corner of the screen. Alright, so... looking through the stream chat, you guys certainly seemed like you were having a lot of fun while I was gone. Welcome to the galaxy! Whee! Alrighty then, so let's go over this. That is fire! That is fire and it's just burning! That's what fire does! Alright, let's continue over this way. So one thing I gotta say is that it's kind of interesting going back and forth between the three games on here, is that you have your usual camera control during 64 and Sunshine, but not in this one. You can't freely move the camera in Galaxy. Like, you can kind of move it, but not nearly to the same degree as you can in 64 and Sunshine. And the reason why that's the case is because they did that intentionally on the original Wii version, because with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck combination, you didn't have a second thumbstick. So that's why you use the D-pad to move the camera. So that same camera limitation is on here, which is really, really weird, because you do have a second control stick on this version, but your camera controls are still very limiting. And that mindset of having a limited camera control, that kind of, over time, that gave Nintendo the impression that a free moving camera controls would be too intimidating for little kids when they were playing the game. So, yeah, that's why they also didn't do that in 3D Land and 3D World. Another big reason why they didn't have free moving camera in 3D Land was because if there were too many objects between Mario and the camera, it would mess up the 3D effect. So that's pretty fun too. And the only reason why they have a free roaming camera in Odyssey, I'm not making this up, this is true, is because of Minecraft. Nintendo saw that little kids were able to move the camera without any problems in Minecraft, and they're like, oh, I guess we could do that in our games again, even though we had no reason to believe that they couldn't. So yeah, Minecraft of all things is the reason why Odyssey has a free moving camera. I just find that so funny. So anyway, let's go over this way. And activate that. Aha, the door is open. Gonna read the chat real quick. Ben Garman says, gonna go now, bye. Bye, Pancake, thank you for coming. And now we have a fire flower! Whee! I did not want to do a backflip. Backflips are not a great way to travel. Alrighty then. And now we've activated the launch star, so let's go! Eevee and Pikachu, the best Pokemon game ever. I'm only half joking when I say that. Like, I know for a fact that there are better Pokemon games out there. It's just that Let's Go Eevee is my personal favorite. It's kind of an interesting concept how, like, you know something else is better in a series or things like that, but you have your own personal favorite. It's kind of an interesting mindset. Let's go over this way. Now, there's probably some faster ways we could go across this area, but I don't feel like being a speedrunner today. Okay, fine, game. I'll try speedrunning. I see how it is. Agent 55 says, so of the 5 3D Mario games, which one is your favorite, least favorite, and why? RT6. So my favorite is a tie between Odyssey and Galaxy 2. Lately it's been leaning more towards Odyssey because I've been playing through that a lot more than Galaxy 2 the past couple years. I really love Odyssey specifically because it feels like the natural extension of 64 that we never got. Because pretty much every 3D Mario game does its own thing, and for the most part, they always do it pretty well. I did not pick up the other ice flower. Every 3D Mario game does something differently, and it does it very well. Odyssey continues what 64 was doing, and while also having its own identity. And it's a very, very incredible game on its own, even with all that now taken into consideration or anything like that. And it just feels really good to play through that game, because everything you do has meaning, whether it's getting like a big grand power moon or something so small. Like, you can get a lot of power moons so quickly in that game. It's perfect for handheld play, but also has a lot of great moments that are just perfect for playing on a TV. It's the best of both worlds. And Galaxy 2 continues the ideas of this game, but everything this game does, Galaxy 2 does better, in my personal opinion. So, my least favorite, and this will be a controversial opinion, my least favorite is 3D World. It is a fantastic game. It is really incredible. And I'm very looking forward to it coming to Nintendo Switch. I've heard that it's going to have online play on Switch. I don't know if that's 100% going to be the case, but that's going to be incredible. It's going to be really great playing that game in handheld play, because it really does feel like a game made for a handheld console. But my problem with it is that it feels the least creative. It feels like they saw how successful 3D Land was and saw how much that game saved the 3DS, and they wanted to replicate the same success on Wii U, but they didn't want to put too much effort into it. Like, if you see a lot of the levels in that game, it feels like a lot of it is just more or less the same of what they did in 3D Land. The biggest example of this is that there's a level that has a top-down perspective camera that feels pretty much exactly like the same level in 3D Land. So, that's my least favorite, personally, but it is still an incredible game, so if somebody out there watching this, if somebody says that's their favorite 3D Mario game, I wouldn't blame them. I would say, I would agree with you to a certain degree that it does do a lot of things incredibly well. It's just my personal least favorite. Alright, so let's go over this way. Sorry if every time I answer one of their questions, it turns into a long tangent. That's definitely one thing that I want to improve on with streaming, is that I feel like every time I answer a question, I go off on a long tangent and kind of repeat my point too often. So, I do apologize for that. Why did I jump? I pushed the wrong button. Agent 55 says you don't really care for Odyssey all that much. That makes sense. Odyssey, there's a lot of people out there who do consider Odyssey their least favorite, and everybody's opinion is reasonable and things like that. So and that's the great thing about opinions, is that, like, nobody's is going to be exactly the same. Like, I personally love Odyssey, but there are going to be a lot of people out there who thought it was just okay or didn't even really care for it that much. Brexit says, what's the story of this game? The story of this game is that Bowser stole Peach and Mario has to save her. Okay, what happened there? Huh? Okay, hold on a second. I gotta see what happened there. What? Okay. Okay, we went over there. That's doing the thing. Now we're over here. Okay, what? I found a glitch. I found a glitch. This is amazing. This is beautiful. Okay, I need to post this on Twitter. This is beautiful. Okay. I think what happened there was that the way we long jumped off the planet, it made Mario go further than the gravitational pull on that planet was programmed, and we escaped the boundaries of it. Oh, this makes me so happy. Pancake, I wish you were here to see this, because you always find glitches in these games. That was glorious. And now it's been posted to Twitter. Yay! Now we get to go back into the game. Alright, so the reason why I had the G8R stream away from that was because, one thing that I do on Switch is that if I'm planning out a Let's Play of a Switch game, I'll take screenshots and draw little text things on the screen to make little notes for myself. So, my album right now is kind of filled with notes that I'm making for a future Switch Let's Play. So ain't that fun. I swear like half the Let's Plays that I'm planning out right now are all on Switch, or at least playable on Switch. Which is convenient, because my recording setup right now is already tailor-made for it right now. But yeah, this is kind of interesting. Jump on you and get rid of the pokey. Yay, we got the 1-up. I got the life again. And now we can go over here and jump. So let's see what's over this way. Long jumping on these planets is just so much fun. The way you loop around them is always... It never gets old. It's always really incredible to see. What's in the stream chat? Agent 345 says, but it's better than 3D Land and World War. My favorite galaxy in the entire game. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't like Gusty Garden Galaxy that much. I understand that there's a lot of people who do love the music here. I think it's overrated, honestly. Like, the music is good, but there's so many better songs in this game. Like, why is Gusty Garden the one that's so popular? I personally think Space Junk Galaxy is my personal favorite song in the game. Because that one, I could just listen to that one repeatedly and never get tired of it. But why is Gusty Garden Galaxy the one that's so popular? Rexon says the game is bizarre, everything is moving. Where'd that star go? I wasn't paying attention. Where did it go? It's over here. And grab it. Yay! Alright, so I think we'll play a little bit more of Galaxy before we switch games, because I would like to demonstrate 64 in Sunshine on stream as well. So that would be pretty fun and dandy indeed. Alrighty then. Bunnies in the wind. We'll play one more so that we can have an even number of stars. Saving, do not touch the power button. Let's play a little bit of Dusty Dune Galaxy. Right then. Soaring on the desert winds. Whenever I see the word desert, I always think of this trick that I learned as a kid to spell the difference between desert and dessert, like the ice cream and things like that. So, the trick I learned is that when you're spelling desert, like with cake and cupcakes and pudding and things like that, you spell it with an extra S because you always want seconds. And that's why you have the second S on there. Alright, so a bit of a fun little technical detail about this animation right here of Mario spinning around like a helicopter. How they were able to pull that off was that they animate Mario to give him like an extra pair of arms. So he actually has 4 arms right now if you frame by frame the animation. Nah, now we're dead! No! Being dead is not pleasant. Anyway, we'll try again. Alright then. Let's go over here and fly! We're flying, we're flying, we're flying high in the sky! That tornado is a little too far away so I can quite reach it. Alright. I meant to long jump. I meant to long jump. That long jump didn't work out. There's Production says that's a good way to remember it, thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm useful! Yeah, that's always the trick that I remember whenever I'm spelling words desert and dessert and things like that. Alrighty then, we'll fly over this way. And now we'll go over here. And there's going to be a warp pipe right there. It's going to be fancy. So something interesting about 3D All-Stars is that with all of these games on the original versions of these games, they were able to hide a lot of the technical limitations easier because of the SD graphics. But now all these games are HD, and they didn't really change a whole lot of animations or anything like that, so a lot of the technical limitations you see so much more clearer on this version. Like the biggest example is that Mario's reflection doesn't have eyeballs. Like he does have like the color and things like that, but his like eye color thing, it's not there. And another fun limitation is that you can see a lot more of the pop-in textures in Sunshine. So it is one downside about these games being in HD and things like that. I failed by Deathly Doom. Why am I dying so much in Dusty Dune Galaxy? Alright, we'll try that again. Hopefully this time without fail. There we go. Aha. Alright, it's all good now. It's all good. Alright, so, I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the stream, but since then more people showed up, so I guess it's worth mentioning again. So, there is going to be a bonus video for my Galaxy Let's Play, because I actually did do a 100% Let's Play of this game a couple years ago. The bonus video in question was supposed to go over the post-game of Galaxy. I never showed that off during the main series. And now I never can because I'm dead. But yeah, I never did the bonus video for this Let's Play. At least the last one. So my mindset right now is that it is still going to be like one big video. It's going to be demonstrating the post game, but alongside the very last level that I was originally going to demonstrate during that video, I'm also going to be going over a little bit of 3D All Stars and talking about the miscellaneous changes that they did, such as the button changes and things like that. Hopefully that makes sense, because otherwise what I'm saying right now sounds like gibberish. But yeah, I will be working on that bonus video on my own time. In terms of bonus videos that I'm also working on with other Let's Plays, the Luigi Galaxy one is kind of not the highest priority for me at the moment! Someday we'll get out of this area, and then that day will be glorious! Aha! Okay, what's down here? Ah, wait! Rude! Go away! Stupid piranha plant stealing Captain Toad's spot in Smash Brothers. Alright, so what was I saying a moment ago? Oh yeah, bonus videos. These stupid sand pits! These stupid sand pits of doom and destruction and death! Okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait to talk about bonus videos until after we're out of this area, because every time that I do, I instantly die. So that might just be the curse of this area. Let's be careful for once. Let's go over here. I jumped way too soon. Okay, we're good now. Phew. Okay, those have been activated. We don't need to activate that, but star bits are always nice to get because we need lots of them. We need lots of star bits to 100% the game, and I kind of need 100% the game if I'm ever going to finish that stupid Super Luigi Galaxy bonus video thing. But I mean, yeah, we'll go over this way. I said go over that way. There we go. A fire flower? Oh boy! We get to burn everything! Yes! Everything must burn! Burn! So now we go down here and everything is all peaceful and things like ah! No, that was a giant thing. It was a giant boulder and it wasn't very pleasant at all. Okie dokie, we'll go over this way. And yeah, we did it. So I remember on the best moments of 2017 video, I had some moment saved in the montage from this specific area. I don't remember what I said at that point though. All I remember is that this was something, I think it was one of those gags where I was all like, we did the thing, I don't need to play this game anymore, then I turned the game off or something like that. Alright, so yeah, going back onto my tangent about bonus videos, I do have every intention on making that one going over the post-game in Galaxy. But compared to other bonus videos that I'm working on, such as the ones for Tomb Raider Trilogy or New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Luigi Galaxy is kind of a low priority at the moment. Because, like I said earlier on stream, I was going through a whole playthrough of this game on the Wii version, but because of 3D All-Stars, I kind of have to start the whole thing all over again, so that's not exactly the most pleasant experience in the world. Plus the fact that to get to that bonus video, I'm going to have to 100% this game twice, and that's going to be pretty fun. Now, technically, I could probably just continue my playthrough of the Wii version. I'm going to continue on from there. But the thing is, I want to demonstrate the Switch version during that last bonus video. And I figured it might as well just be easier to do it here, because to continue that playthrough, I have to play through the Wii U, because that was the console that had that save file on it. And I kind of don't want to do that. It's kind of easier and more convenient for me to play through this game on Switch. Three's Production says those little Rockstar things look like candy. They do look like candy. I 100% agree with you on that. They do look like candy and they're yummy. It's actually based off a Japanese candy. I don't remember the name of it, but that's what inspired the design of the Star Bits. I know we said we'd switch games after that star, but I kind of want to see what's over here. Hey, you got decent Star Beats?
If you feed me a bunch of starbursts, I'll burst with sticky happiness and then transform. I'm famished. I need 800 starbursts to curb the hunger pangs. So hungry. More! That's it. I'm stuffed. Here we go. Transform! Luma sacrifice!
I'm so happy I get to say that again. That's like one of my favorite running gags in videos. Agent 335 says Starbits are based on the Japanese candy. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. I apologize. Conpeito. That's fun to say. Conpeito. I would love to try one of those someday. Like, my girlfriend and I have been saying all year that we want to travel to Japan sometime. So, if we ever do get the chance to do that, I definitely want to track down those candies and try them because that would just be so cool. Alright, so going through this area, we're going to talk about the best change in Super Mario Galaxy on this version that nobody ever talks about. Nobody ever talks about this change, and it is honestly the best part of this version of Galaxy. In the original version, you had to shake the controller to make Mario spin. That was the only way you can do that. And I like motion controls. I didn't mind this. But this also was the case for when you were swimming. So it was always really, really tiring to do this after a while, because swimming makes you go, because spinning underwater makes you go faster. But on this version, you don't have to do that. You can just push the Y button to make Mario spin underwater, and as much as I like motion controls, I gotta say, this is a welcome change. I love this so much. This is easily the best change in 3D All-Stars, but nobody ever talks about it. Alright then. So let's continue on this way, and there's one more star chip thingy. And now we found it, and it is mine, and nobody else can touch it. Let's go over here, and whee! I love this idea so much, where you have two bodies of water inches from each other. This is so cool. This is such a pretty game. Now where do I go now? There's a coin right there. Do I need to go down? Oh, I'm a dummy. I need to go down because there's the one... there's a treasure chest that can only be opened with this thing. Alright, we'll continue over there. Who is texting me while making videos? How dare you? Texting is lame. I'm just kidding, Alrighty then, we'll go over here, and there's a golden treasure chest. And die!
Man, that was close! Oh, Mario! I almost forgot to tell you something. I was trying to get a power star, but I found in this treasure chest. Let me tell you, it's even smaller than it looks. Anyway, here's the power star I found in here. No, really, it's yours. Temper, didn't you?
This game was Captain Toad's debut, and that's automatically a big reason why this is one of the best Mario games of all time.
Take this power star!
I love Captain Toad. He's like one of my favorite Mario characters of all time. And Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is also one of my favorite Mario games too. I absolutely love that game. I love that game so much. I love Captain Toad. We did Let's Play that on this channel, and we did it versus on the collab channel. And that was actually the first project we did on the collab channel too. Okay, so it's gonna bother me if we have an even number of power stars collected in this video, so we're gonna go for one more. I'm weird. I have to do everything evenly, otherwise I feel off. And yeah, let's go take care of one more thing. Dusty Dune Galaxy. The chat saying I didn't even know you could spin underwater back when I first played this game. Took me a while to figure out my first time around. About water levels. Yeah. Another thing about spinning underwater is that I gotten out of the habit of doing that because of the way the post game works in this game. If you spin underwater, the amount of air you can have underwater goes down faster if you spin. But this only happens during the post game. So because of that, I kind of gotten out of the habit of doing that, so I don't do it too often. But with this version of the game, with them remapping those buttons to the Y button and things like that, it makes it a lot more convenient and things like that. Alright, hear that, and good. I did not do the thing correctly. Whoops. Let's try that again. Hopefully this time without fail. Alright. Come over here, face me like a man! Die! Ha 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 ha! All shall fear me. Owie. I like how I said all shall fear me, but then I said owie. Alright, get back over here. Stop hurting me. I'm only allowed to hurt you. It's only fair. Die! I said die! Yay! Owie. That was sand. That's a noise that I make when I play video games. Alright, so we could go over there and we could have talked to that one Luma to get some more power, to pay them with star bits and things like that, but I didn't feel like it. I don't feel like feeding hungry Lumas. Hungry, hungry Luma, hungry, hungry Luma. Let's go over this way. I really like this plan right here where you go across this area and it's really, really fast, so it will take a couple tries to get through this area, especially if there's only like one more thing you gotta find. But I really do like this one. This one's really fun to go through. So I believe we're going to want a green shell for this next one. And we're going to want to go find that treasure chest again. And then... yeah! We found the thing. Are you proud of me? I found the thingy-mabob. So now we have a couple directions we can go. I'm going to go this way. That much is different between which ways you're gonna go, but it's just interesting. At least I think it is. Was there no difference between the two? Oh, there's a pipe on the other direction. Okay. All right, so let's go over this way now. And I like these characters right here. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but they're just so cute. They look like a Banjo-Kazooie character. They're like tornadoes and stuff like that, and they have the giant googly eyes. They totally look like a Banjo-Kazooie character. Or really any character from Rare or Platonic or anything like that, because they have googly eyes on pretty much everything. So let's go over this way. Speaking of which, have any of you played ukulele or ukulele in the Possible Lair or anything like that? Because, like, I know a lot of people really like Banjo-Kazooie and things like that, but I'm wondering how many people played both, because I really like Banjo-Kazooie, but I really, really like ukulele, so I don't know. I kind of flip-flop between those two on whether which one I like more between those two games, because I know that a lot of people think that Banjo-Kazooie is better, and I can totally see that opinion, but The thing with Banjo-Kazooie is that, at least in my case, is that it's one of those games where I had to restart it so many times. Because, like, it's one of those games where I got it on, like, on a bunch of different consoles, and I started a new playthrough in each one, and I never finished it. Ukulele is the one that I've gotten the furthest into. So, that's pretty amusing. Aw, Thieves Protection says very proud. Aw, thank you. Alright, so now we'll be switching games. We have 52 power stars. You add 12 to that, and you get 64. Just like Nintendo 64, which means after the game finishes saving. Next up, let's play Super Mario 64!
It's me, Mario!
So I'm not entirely sure how long we'll keep going on stream. We'll play for a little bit, and then we'll switch over to Sunshine, and then we'll call it quits for the stream. Alright, so something really cool is that this is widely known, but it's still really interesting to show if people don't know. So first of all, you can use the right thumbstick to move Mario's head around right here. But the PS de resistance is the fact that we can move parts of Mario around. You can also press the ZL button to make a bunch of Mario heads appear in the background. If you press the... which button is it again? If you press the L or R button, you can freeze that part of the body in place. So we can make some really goofy expressions right here. Let's see what else we could do. I absolutely love doing this. Yay, my masterpiece. Alright, let's get into the game. So I don't remember exactly which one I did last. Looks like I would not 100% love these levels. Dar Docks, let's go there. Continuing on with the HD Rumble that I mentioned during Galaxy, they also added it to a certain degree with this one and Sunshine as well. Not nearly to the same degree as you'd see in Mario Odyssey or anything like that, but the HD Rumble definitely does feel really cool in these games. Now, I'm playing with the Joy-Con grip, so I can't quite feel the HD Rumble as smoothly as it could if I was only playing with Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller or something like that, but it is still pretty interesting. Wait, I don't think we can do this one yet. We can certainly try, but I don't think we can do this one yet. Because I don't think I have all the power-ups required for this one. Alright, so... There's Brexton says, "Wee! Oh no, Mario!" So let's continue on over this way. And speaking of the Joy-Con, I gotta say, a bit of a fun story. So, a few months ago, I bought a Pro Controller specifically for recording. Because... the Joy-Cons, they're not doing any drifting problems or anything like that, but they kind of... Like, you can obviously hear them in the background right now, the microphone. The buttons are a little too clicky for my liking, and the left thumbstick, it doesn't do this anymore, but it was having a problem where you can hear the spring inside of it when they're moving upwards and things like that. So, I got a Pro Controller specifically for recording because it's a lot more quieter, so that was very nice, but I can't find the charging cord. Like, I let my sisters borrow it, because we thought that because it was also a USB-C cord thingy that would also work on their Switch dock, but it didn't, so now I can't find it because they lost the cord. Which is very unpleasant. Yeah, we can't do this thing yet. At least I don't think we can. We could try anyway, though. No, I'm wrong. So, yeah. The star that I was thinking of was the one over there in that cage. But this one, all we need to do is this. All I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Do I need to beat it? Okay. 1, 2. Why didn't that count? Because yeah, we need to go and do like 5 of these rings right here. So 3, 4, 5. And now we need to go back up and go collect the steel cap once again. And then we could transform into Metal Mario. That's gonna be pretty fancy indeed. Alright. Just go over here and jump this way. We didn't long jump, but we're falling with style. And there's a car outside, and you could probably hear that in the background. Let's go over here and collect the power star. Through the jet stream. Save and continue. Okie dokie. What's the next one in this world? The Monterey's reward. Okay, so this one works similarly to the previous one. There are also rings behind this Monterey, so we gotta follow them. And I gotta say, what was with games on the Nintendo 64 having this kind of gameplay mechanic where you have to go through rings? Because you see this in this game. Majora's Mask even has something like this, and most infamously, this also appeared in like Superman 64. So, what was with games of this era having you to go through rings? Now the tricky part of this one is being at a good enough distance so you don't get knocked away from the manta ray. If you're too far away, then the ring doesn't count, which is really, really silly. I'm honestly not that big of a fan of this level, but we'll get through this eventually. Eventually. Stop it! Stop attacking me! I'm trying to go through the stupid rings. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I never know a good pattern for going through this one smoothly, to be honest. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why didn't that count? Why didn't that count? Okay, we can do this. I believe in us. I believe in us. We can do this. Come on! This one's obnoxious. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why didn't that count? Okay, the nice thing is that at least it reveals your error every time you go through a ring, but still, this is obnoxious. I'm sure James is watching this like, haha, I told you Mario 64 was a bad game. Finally! Goodness gracious with gravy. Yay! We did the thingy. 3 says, except I don't hear the cars. Apparently Mario can't count to 5. And James is like, well, dot, dot, dot. Yeah, Mario 64 is obviously the James Rose's favorite Mario game of all time. He certainly didn't have a 5-minute rant during A Link to the Past go up or anything like that. We can't do this level yet. We need to get the other cap before we can do that. So instead, why am I going over there? That's on the right button. Red Dry World. Do I want to go to the Red Dry World right now? We'll figure out when we go back up to the attic. Jump! That didn't work. And now we're going back to the door. So So one thing kind of interesting is that, well, first of all, one speedrunning trick that I know about this is that you can actually glitch through the ceiling right there to go a little bit faster. Now, it doesn't save a ton of time, but when you're doing speedruns and things like that, where everything is like frame perfect precision, then yeah, it definitely does help. James says, sir, might want to check your text messages, by the way. Are you texting me, James? Merry Toastmas to you, too. Wait, what is this level again? Go to town for red coins. Okay, so, fun story. This one, of all the levels in Mario 64, this is the one that took me the longest to figure out what the heck I was supposed to do. Because it says go to town for red coins. I could not find a town for anything in this level. I could not find out what it was I was supposed to do. It didn't occur to me until, not even joking, it took me like a month to figure out I was supposed to do something with this right here. Like, it took me a month of playing this game off and on to go over here. And then I was playing around this level, and then I don't remember who exactly pointed this out, but it was either my sister or my mother who was watching. So yeah, I was going through this area, and they were like, what are you doing? You're just running around in circles for a bit. And I was all like, I'm trying to find this stupid town. And then, at that point, I was walking by that cage, and she was all like, have you tried looking in there? And I was like, oh. So, yeah, that's like one of those, that's like a pretty amusing story and things like that. I need to activate the bomb thing. I didn't do that. Oh, the bomb's over there, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. Get up the thing, get up the thing, get up the thing, get up the thing. There we go. Aha. Hi, I prepared the cannon for you. Ready for blast off? Come on, hop into the cannon. So a bit of a fun technical thing about the Bob-omb characters in this game. The Nintendo 64 wasn't powerful enough to render perfectly circular objects like this. So whenever you see a circular character like a Bob-omb or something like that, chances are it's a 2D sprite. They have a 2D sprite that's always facing the camera, so it looks like it's a perfect circle. But if you were to hack the camera and move it around, you'd see that it's very, very much like a billboard, similar to how the trees in this game work. So yeah, that's pretty fun. And also, I love the way the rumble works when you're using the cannons. Ah, it feels so good. And now we can fly, and we missed. Oh, I missed. Let's head over here. By the way, I like how, when this game was first coming out, one thing that really cracked me up whenever I saw it was when you'd see those posts, there'd be like, finally a good version of Super Mario 64. Or a similar joke happened with Pikmin 3 Deluxe when people were all like, finally a good portable version of Pikmin. It's like, I understand that they're not very popular and all, but 64 DS and 8 Pikmin were okay games. Like with the 64 DS, I definitely prefer the original version, and Hey Pikmin is definitely not a Pikmin game, but it at least is a pretty fun one. And it did feel that niche of a handheld Pikmin until Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out, but still, they're pretty decent games. So let's go over here. So yeah, this was the town that I could never find. So yeah, we'll go over this way now, and there's going to be 8 red coins in this place. So basically what I want to do right now is I want to try to get the red coins on the higher parts of this town before we lower the water level, because otherwise it's going to be kind of a pain to go grab these later. So what we'll do, it looks like most of them are going to be hiding inside those blocks, which we can't break underwater. So we gotta fix that. I need to find that crystal. Where is that crystal? Hello, Chris. Ah, I see you. Here, Crystal. Okay, I don't know how many other people think this, but this totally reminds me of the save crystals from Tomb Raider. I know they look nothing alike, but something about a crystal in this era of games just makes me think of Tomb Raider. Alright. Let's go over this way. What did that activate? I don't know what that activated, so it's probably going to be something important, and it'll be the only chance we'll ever be able to take care of it. Because that's how these games work. Alrighty then. The first couple of red coins that I want to grab. Let's go over here. So yeah, this is one thing that a lot of people trying to play these games nowadays kind of struggle with, is the camera. So, like, somebody like me who's been playing this game forever, it doesn't bother me because, like I said, I've been playing this game forever. So, yeah, the camera itself doesn't bother me, but I do understand that it can be a little bit hard to get into this game for new people trying to get into it and things like that. Okay, let's move over here. That's the other button I meant to push. Okay, I remember there's a control option. Wait. There we go. Alright, so there's a control option that can let you freeze the camera in place, which can make it a little bit more convenient to control in places like this. So that's pretty nice. It's also pretty much the only way that you can play this game if you're trying to play this with an SNES controller. Because Super Mario 64 actually does work with the SNES Online controller. It's not ideal, but it definitely does work, and it's pretty interesting. Although, I gotta say, the really weird thing is the Link's Awakening remake doesn't work with that controller, because the movement options in that game only work with a thumbstick. The D-pad doesn't work in that game. And it kind of bumps me out, because I would have loved to have been able to have played Link's Awakening with an SNES controller, because that would just be all kinds of awesome. But unfortunately, that's not the case, because dreams don't come true. Alright, can I please jump on top of the thing? Alright, jump. That didn't work. Okay, I think I need to go somewhere else for that to do stuff. We can destroy you. Look at the stream chat. Agent 335 says, I didn't know Wario was in this game.
Wario! Wah.
They can't sound like more like Waluigi, but yeah, same thing. There's Brexit says you got paint on your blanket. Oh, sorry. I have this one blanket that I've had since I was like a very, very little kid. And I had a story to go with this, and now I completely forgot. So let's move on to a different topic.
Ah, no, I fell! And now you can hear baby noises in the back.
Camera. 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 There we go. The camera got stuck. Okay, one thing I gotta say is... Okay, I've been programming for a couple years now. Still in college for programming, but I've had a lot of experience with different engines and things like that, so... Well, I think my programming expertise is definitely better suited for making 2D games and things like that. I have worked with 3D games, and I gotta say, programming a good camera is kind of a pain, because of all the things that go into making a 3D game and things like that, programming a good camera is probably the one that requires some of the most trial and error that you'll ever see. Because you gotta make sure that it follows the character well enough. You gotta make sure that it doesn't get caught on too much stuff. And most importantly, you have to make sure that the camera is positioned in such a way that it hides the load times and things like that. Because, for example, this game runs on a 4:3 aspect ratio, so it has to make sure that the camera is positioned in such a way that it doesn't let the player see anything that's not loaded. Like, for example, if this game was in widescreen right now, you would be seeing unloaded textures on the sides all the time, because of the way that this game is programmed and things like that. So, yeah, that's a lot of things you gotta take into consideration when making a 3D camera. So, as annoying as a bad camera can be, I think that's one reason why I kind of overlook it in this game, because I've had experience trying to program a camera, and it is really, really difficult. So, that's a fun and amusing story that went on for longer than it should have. And I fell down here again. How the crap did I get back on top of that building? Okay, we're back up here now. Okay, it looks like I gotta go up on top of this area. Get on top of the thing! Get on top of the thing. Get up here. How did I make that noise? How did I make that noise? Get on top of the freaking pole! Get on top of the pole! Get on top of the pole! My goodness, I never had that much trouble. Whew. Okay. Okay, it's all good now. It's all good now. And now, we'll jump over here. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How can I get back up there? Get back up there. Get back up there. Get back up there. Phew. We did it. We did it. I did the thingy. I did the thingy, and it's shiny, and it doesn't taste like chocolate, and I'm upset. Here's production says, fun fact, blankets can hold water like a bowl. Has anybody ever tried making a water bottle out of a blanket? Quick race through downtown. Oh, I remember this one. We can't do this one yet. So, we do have the ability to unlock that one, but it'll take a moment to actually do that, and I kind of don't want to do that on the stream. Basically, you unlock that ability by going through Big Boo's haunt. I haven't really done a whole lot of exploring in that world yet, so it'll take a moment to unlock that ability. Let's go inside Tall Tall Mountain. Mystery of the Monkey Cage. Alrighty then. So, one thing that you'll definitely hear a lot of people criticize about Mario 64, especially those who've played Odyssey first, is that in Odyssey, when you collected a Power Moon, you were able to continue playing through the level without any interruptions. But this one, and the same case with pretty much every Mario game except for Odyssey, is that... where am I going with this? When you collect a Power Star or something like that, then you're taken out of the level and you have to go back to the world. Now, for the structure of this game, I think it works, but obviously it does get a little bit annoying for people who played Odyssey first, and I fell. Alright, we'll try that again. By the way, this is probably going to be the last star we'll be collecting for Super Mario 64 because I'd like to have 64 stars. Because we're only one away from that, and it's kind of bothering me that we don't have 64 stars yet. I died twice, the exact same way. This is why I lose Mario Versus.
Mamma mia! Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to learn from my mistake. Probably. Okay, one thing that's kind of bothering me right now is that it kind of seems like the camera is a little off-center right now. I don't know why that is. It just kind of seems that way. Does anybody else notice that? Might just be for this world or something like that, but it just seems a little off-center and it's bothering me more than it should. That's one thing that I kind of don't like about games nowadays, is that I prefer when the camera is directly behind the player. I don't like it in games like Batman Arkham City or things like that, when the camera is kind of over the character's shoulder and things like that. I can understand why they do it, and it definitely does work in certain situations, but that's a camera technique I'm not really that big of a fan of. Alright, we'll go over here. So I believe the star we're looking for... Okay. It's all good. It's all good. By the way, this right here, this took me forever to find. There's a hidden pathway in this area that will lead you to another area. Actually, you know what? Let's go for this one right now. This one was the one that took me forever to find. So, that's pretty amusing. And you definitely want to be careful on this one, because this pathway will trick you. So you need to pay attention on this one. This is definitely one of those levels that makes you learn from mistakes, and that's interesting. I'm gonna go this way, because if we go the other way, then we'll fall and die a painful death.
Mamma mia!
Mario 64, why aren't you on Switch Online yet, so that I could use a rewind feature to make it so I never have to learn from my mistakes. I do appreciate the rewind feature on NES and SNES Online, because, yeah, some people accuse you of being cheap and things like that when you use it, especially if you use it all the time, but it is very useful on games that have, like, very, very cheap level design, like Star Tropics, because Star Tropics is a pretty fun game, but it has some very cheap level design. And we did the thing! Woo! And now we have 64 power stars, just like Nintendo 64. Ah, that makes me happy. Also, one of my favorite things about this game, it's it's not really that worth mentioning, but one of my favorite things in this entire game is this, where it's all like, high score! And they changed that in 64 DS, and that makes me so sad. But that's going to be it for Super Mario 64. So now let's move on to the final game we'll be showcasing during this video. We will be playing through, as soon as the game loads up, we'll be playing through Super Mario Sunshine. Aiden325 says, one of the things I didn't like about Odyssey, 64 stars, yay! What was the thing you didn't like about Odyssey? I didn't see when that appeared in chat, so what, did you say that when we were talking about Power Moons or something like that? Okay, so the first thing that I'll be demonstrating on this stream is something that I actually made an entire video for. So, one of the most infamously difficult levels in this entire game is the Watermelon Festival. And there's a lot of people who struggle with that level to no end. And I have a secret that makes it super easy. And by secret, I mean I made 2 videos on this, so it's not really that much of a secret. Alright, we'll go over here to Gelato Beach, the Watermelon Festival. So, the thing with this level is there is a watermelon way up on those cliffs over there, and they want you to go all the way across this area with these cataquacks in the way. Now, you can take the smaller watermelons over there, but there's only really one that will work with the festival. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen what happens if you take the smaller one there. I want to see that real quick, because I've never tried that before. Get away from me, you stupid cataquack! There we go. Alright, so yeah, we'll move this around here. I'm really curious to see what happens, because I've never seen what happens when you take the smaller watermelon over there. Alright, move that over there. Yeah, the cataquacks will make it, whenever they touch the watermelon, they'll make it go flying high, and that, okay. I forgot that the ocean breaks the watermelon too. So, yeah, the difficult thing about this level is that the cataquacks will, kind of like try and destroy your watermelon and things like that. So it's not a very pleasant experience that, oh no! Okay, you know what? Screw it. Screw it, fine. We'll do this the way you're supposed to. I just wanted to see what happens when the small watermelon gets entered into the contest. But fine, we'll do it the way that's fancy. Owie. So yeah, Mario Sunshine. The interesting thing about this game is that this is one of the very rare instances where you'd see a Nintendo game that had a rushed development cycle. Nintendo is usually pretty good about not rushing their games so that they can come out sooner and things like that. Sunshine was a different case, because when this game was coming out, the GameCube was kind of having a hard time keeping up with the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, especially the PlayStation 2, because yeah, it had a lot of good games and stuff on there, but the Xbox was attracting an older audience who were getting more interested in more mature games and things like that, and a lot of those mature games just weren't coming to GameCube, and the PlayStation 2 had the added benefit of also being a DVD player, and also having a lot of really great RPGs as well, and the GameCube was kind of having a hard time finding an audience. So Nintendo wanted to kind of rush the development of their bigger titles like Mario and Zelda so that they could attract their core audience to the console faster. But that also led to a lot of quality problems with Super Mario Sunshine and The Wind Waker. Now, The Wind Waker is an incredible game on its own, but the problem with that one is that the very ending of the game, they cut a lot of corners. They cut 2 dungeons in that game, so the story feels a little rushed towards the end of the game. And Sunshine had a lot of quality problems. There's a lot of glitches in this game. It's not quite as polished as some of the other 3D Mario games, but even then, even with all that taken into account, this is still a really fun game. Like, sure, it definitely does have problems and things like that, but it's a really fun game, and honestly, the glitches are probably like the most fun part of this game, to be completely honest, because it's just really fun to see what kind of crazy, insane things you can do with the glitches and stuff like that. So that's a big reason why I'm really glad they didn't really fix any of the glitches in this game. With all that being said, there was one that was kind of introduced in 3D All-Stars, because there's a glitch where in some of the underground levels, and some of the secret levels and things like that, you can actually see some of the debugging codes, the debug cubes in the game. Now, that didn't bother me personally, because a lot of the ones were located on places where the moving platforms have been moving around, so it kind of felt like it kind of looked like something made to point you in the right direction of where those platforms are going to be going and things like that. So that didn't bother me too much, but it did eventually get patched later. My camera controls are weird. I control my, how do I change my camera controls? Okay, there we go. That's not correct at all. Okay, what's going on? Never mind. I don't know why it's not saving that. Okay. But yeah, that was my long tangent about this. And it's very fascinating indeed, and I'm going to sell the audiobook for $5,000. Let's move it over here. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I was trying to demonstrate that shortcut where you can bring the watermelon down here on this cliff over here, because if you bring it over here and make it go that way, you don't have a whole lot of cataquack. Mario fell into the dirt. If you bring it over this way, then you don't have to worry about too many of the cataquacks, but screw it. I already have a video on the channel that talks about that, so I don't need to showcase it. You know, 375 says, I didn't really like how in Odyssey, when you got a power moon, it didn't take you out of the stage. So what's worse, the Watermelon Festival and the Chucksters. Fraser Brexton says, watermelon! I don't know what's worse, because I kind of like both levels. But between those two, I'd say the Chuckster level is probably the one that I like the least. Between those two. Because with that one, there's also the 8 red coin level where you have to go through there, and it's not really the most pleasant experience in the world when you're trying to wait on characters to talk to them at the right time. But you need to do that under a time limit because of the red coin things. So that's something that's kind of unfortunate. But what isn't unfortunate is I'm going to take this time to demonstrate a glitch. So, one of my favorite glitches in this game is called rocket storage. I believe that's what it's called. So basically how this works is, if we go over here, if we go on any ledge right here that we can fall off of, I believe it'll work on this one. So, if you press the ZL button, and then activate that, and then let go of the ZL button as that's charging, it'll store up the energy of when that would have gone off. So if we go off the platform, it didn't work on that one. Okay, so let's find another platform that can work on. It stores up the energy and builds it up over time as you do this action more and more. So it's okay, this should be a good spot. And yep, I didn't do it right. The timing of this can take some getting used to, and especially a little tricky to do when you're doing commentary. But if we have that all stored up and we go off the platform, Mario will go flying high. And this is a truly incredible glitch to do, because you can get a really good overhead shot of all this area, of all these areas. My favorite spot to do this on. My favorite spot to do this on has to be over here. So we'll go over this way for a moment. Might be a good idea to refill the water before we do anything else. But the reason why this area over here is my favorite place to do this on, you'll see in a moment. It's one of my favorite places because it's a really great way to showcase some of the more technical parts of this game. And as somebody who's been working in programming for a while, yeah, I like this. Okay, well, actually, first of all, I have to demonstrate something else. So we go inside this building, and there's some characters over here. We can see some tanukis and things like that. So, what I want to do next, I want to do the rocket storage glitch on top of the building. I don't know how many times I have to do this to get high enough for this to work. I think 4 times would be enough. So we go off the building, and we go up here, you may notice that we're walking around in the air, and the Tanukis are up here. So now you may be wondering, what the heck is going on right here? So yeah, we could go over here, we could talk to the Tanukis, and they'll have their same dialogue. So, we give them blue coins for more power stars and things like that. We're gonna say no. So, what's happening here is that the way the buildings work in this game is that when we go inside here, it doesn't load us into a different room or anything like that. Instead, it teleports Mario high into the air and hides Al Delfino behind this blue void. So this blue void and all the textures inside the building itself, they get called into this area. So if you were to hack the game to remove the blue void, you would have seen what we saw a moment ago. And to prove this, there's another building that I want to go inside that it can also trigger this glitch. I feel like I can make a whole other video on this itself. I'm considering doing that because I think that would be pretty fun to do. So yeah, we'll go over here, and there's another building we can go inside. And the same basic thing applies here as well, but this one is a lot more easier to prove because unlike 64, Super Mario Sunshine on 3D All-Stars was made widescreen. So this game doesn't always take into account that this game is now widescreen all of a sudden. And because of that, we could see on the corner over there, Al Delfino. We don't even need to do the glitch right here because the game didn't expect, because they didn't adjust the blue void in this area to take into consideration that the aspect ratio is just a little bit bigger. So we move the camera over there and we can see Al Delfino over there because the same thing happened over here as applied at the Tanuki building. It teleports Mario high into the air and masks the Al Delfino with the blue void. So now, let's demonstrate what that looks like when we do the glitch. We might have gone just a little too high for that. But yeah, now we can see that the boxes and this guy are all called into this area. So yeah, that's one of my favorite glitches in this entire game. So to end off this area, let's see just how high we can get using this glitch. So over here. People are texting me while I'm making videos, so that's always pretty fascinating. Let's try that again. Okay, so now let's demonstrate just how high we can send Mario using this glitch. You see how high that sends us? This is amazing! Oh, it's always so fun. I mean, just look at how high we are. Like, we can't even see Al Delfino anymore. And it's slowly loading back in. And whee! Even as we ground pound, it's still taking us a little while to get back over there. This is amazing. I always love doing that glitch. Dude, Bruxton says stay boxes. Ugh. So while Mario falls back onto the face of the earth, I'm going to eat my taco, because it's been sitting on my desk for like half an hour now. And one other thing worth mentioning is you may notice that the rest of the island isn't actually loading in. Now the reason for that is because the developers only modeled exactly how much you'd actually see of the island itself. So when you're in Al Delfino, they don't expect that you'd ever be able to see the back of the island, so why spend precious development resources modeling the back of that when you're never going to see it during normal gameplay? Unless you do a fancy glitch like this, because they didn't properly playtest the game. Alright, so we've had some fun right there. Dudes Brexton says, you meant to say skybox. Yay, skyboxes! Alright, so what are we missing? What levels were we working on? There's one in Peanut Park, there's one in Cedar Beach. Let's go into Pianta Village. Mysterious boxes have been spotted near the fountain by Delfino Plaza's Grand Pianta statue. Alright, let's up here. And jump! Pianta Village, the Goopy Inferno. Yeah, so these cutscenes right here where Shadow Mario steals Flood, they usually only ever happen inside a cave or something like that. But no, this level right here, this is one where we outright can't use Flood. So, yeah, this one's really, really fun. So, we have a bunch of fire everywhere. And because we don't have Flood anymore, we gotta figure out some kind of creative solution to get over there. So, what you're supposed to do is, you're supposed to go underneath the level by going down one of these things. And you're supposed to figure out a way you can jump over there. But, I have a fancy trick we can do instead. And it's fancy. So, lining this up can be a little bit tricky, but if you have skills like me, then you should be fine. Ah! Do what I say, not what I do. I should have a counter on my channel for every time I say that, because I say that a lot these past couple years. So yeah, if you're able to get on top of this area, then derp, 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 I was trying to be fancy, but then I failed. Can you find it in the heart to forgive me? Alright, we'll try this one more time. And skipping cutscenes we don't need to see anymore. And one thing really cool thing about this game is that you don't really see this a whole lot, talked about a whole lot, but in most 3D Mario games, Mario has a triple jump. He has a quadruple jump in this game, so you can do that, spin, and then jump. Did I not do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That wasn't quite right, but you get the point. If you do the spin correctly, then you can do like a fancy quadruple jump. It's pretty fancy indeed. Go the other way, go the other way, go the other way, go the— Mario! Why'd you do that? Why'd you jump back over there? You— Okay, fine. We'll go over here. And now, hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate the super cool, awesome trick and stuff like that. First of all, I want to go over this way and demonstrate something really cool. So, this has been a feature for a long time, but you can double tap the home button on the Switch to zoom in the camera. So this is really neat because you can get a slightly more up-close shot of the distant locations. Like we could see that building right there. That's the level that we were at a moment ago with the Watermelon Festival and all the good stuff. We can't really see those ones over there, but we can see Peanut Park way over there. And that's kind of interesting, I guess, sort of. That is one of the more well-known things about Mario Sunshine, is that you can see distant locations off in the distance, because that's what distant location means. So basically, the trick is that if you're able to get on top of this area and you do a spin jump like this, you can actually just skip everything in this level. So I see a lot of people struggle with this one, but this is a trick that I've known for a very long time. So yeah, we can get over here and do this. Now, one thing really cool is that, okay, I can never remember her name. Game Champ 3000, yeah. Game Champ 3000 did a really cool video where she went through the entirety of Super Mario Sunshine without using the hover nozzle. And this one was one of the more difficult ones to do that. I have no idea how you're supposed to do it, but it involves doing a trick where... which button is it again? I can't remember which button it is. Okay, you click the right thumbstick. So if you click the right thumbstick in the air, and then change which direction you're facing, the way the jump physics work in this game is that the momentum of Mario's jump carries over into the direction he's facing. So if you're able to do the triple jump and then go into first person and move the camera over here and then quickly get out and then dive, you should be able to you should be able to get onto this platform without ever having to use the hover nozzle. It is a pain in the butt, and huge kudos to Game Champ 3000 and pretty much anybody else who's ever able to do that. Days Brexton says that you love levels with giant plants. Yeah, those ones look really cool, especially Pikmin. I love Pikmin. I need to let's play another Pikmin game sometime. It's been way too long. Alrighty then. So now we're taking care of that. How many shine sprites do we have? 57. Okay, let's do one more so we can have an even number. Whee! Let's go over this way and whee! This is honestly one of the best Mario games to just jump around on, because one actually I want to go in this level over here. So one of the most important things when you're making a good 3D platformer is you need to make sure that it's fun to move the character around, because if it's not fun to move the character, then the whole game just kind of falls flat. So you can have like the best level design in the history of anything ever, and the game will still suck if your character just doesn't feel that good to move. This is another big reason why I'm not that big of a fan of Mario 3D World, because Mario just doesn't feel good jumping around in that game. But With this one, you have so many options for movement and things like that. You have your spin jump, you have your triple jump, your quadruple jump, all that good stuff. It just feels really good to move Mario in this game. That's another big reason why I love Super Mario 64 is because, same thing, he feels really good to control in that game. You can also see this in games like Spyro the Dragon, Hat in Time, heck, even Kirby 64 to a certain degree, even though it's not a 3D platformer, but it kind of controls like a middle ground between 2D and 3D. Alright, so we're gonna be going over this way. And jump! We live to fall alive! Going down the waterfall, we'll be going inside this area. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. My sensors show highly toxic materials approaching. So yeah, we go over here and there's gonna be a giant eel. That's not very pleasant at all. So what you want to do is that you want to use the flood to brush the teeth of the eel. Now, this one may look like it'll be a pain if you're trying to do this hoverless, but it's actually one of the easier ones because all you need to do is spray water. It doesn't matter what nozzle you're using, so if you're able to find a good solid ground to stay on, then you should be okay for that. So yeah, this isn't that difficult of a level if you're trying to do this hoverless. I've never done this hoverless before, but I would love to try sometime. Because those kind of challenges are always really fascinating to watch, so it's something that I definitely want to try sometime. The big one that I really want to do, I really want to play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker without moving the camera. That is one challenge that I absolutely would love to try sometime. The big thing about that is that there's one level, the one with the haunted house and things like that, where to this day people haven't figured out a way to beat that one without the camera, and I kind of want to wait to try to do my own challenge run of that until after that's figured out, because I don't think I'd have the patience to figure it out on my own time, but it is something that I definitely want to try sometime. There's Braxton says, got any good pickup lines? I'm collecting them. So, this is one of my favorite stories ever. Okay, first of all, I don't really have that many good pickup lines myself, because I'm very, very shy when I try talking to girls and things like that. Like my girlfriend, she asked me out, so I'm probably not the best person to ask advice on dating or pickup lines or things like that. But like, one of my favorite things that ever happened, was this one time where we were ordering pizza for dinner, and my sisters were asking me to answer the door when the pizza man showed up. So, they didn't tell me this before they asked me that, but on the special request for ordering the pizza, they asked the pizza man to bring a pickup line. So the pizza man, when he shows up, he's like this, he's like a 60-year-old man, and he looks at me and kind of freezes for a moment, but then he says, if I told you you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? And I'm so confused for a moment, but then I figure it out, so I ask my sisters what's going on, and they explain everything, and it was so funny. That's one of my favorite stories ever. But one pickup line that I do know, and this was like one of those, kind of like a reverse pickup line where it's meant to not work. Like, it's, don't ever actually try this on somebody because they will say no. But my favorite one is where you walk up to somebody and you're all like, "Hey, baby, you look like I could use a drink." That was amusing. But anyway, yeah, going back into Mario Sunshine, it took us a little bit to get back to the eel. That is one thing that I gotta say I'm not a big fan of with this game, is that if you die, it takes you back to El Delfino. So you have to go through all this stuff to get back to the level again. It's not the most pleasant experience in the world. But something pretty interesting is that the bubbles from popping the eel's tears and things like that, you'll take damage popping the bubble, but a bunch of water will spray out. That will refill your health and things like that, so it's kind of interesting. It might seem counterproductive, but it's actually totally worth it. So we have a couple more teeth that are now super sparkly and things like that. Get back over here, get back over here. That was the noise I make when I brush my teeth. Okay. So let's go over here. Wait for the eel to get back up over this way. Come on. Get back over here. Get back over here. Let's pop the bubble over here so we can get some more of these things. So the interesting thing that's worth mentioning about the eel itself is that the interior of the body of the eel, it actually is rendered in much more greater detail than you'd think. So it goes, the throat, the model of the throat goes really far into the body, and I believe that some of the back of the throat is also modeled too. I don't know how far it goes, but it's pretty interesting how far it goes like that, because you'd never see it during normal gameplay. So whenever that happens in 3D modeling, whenever they render more of the body than it ultimately ends up getting used, that usually happens when the 3D modeling team is not really told how much is actually going to be needed. So this boss fight was likely made early in development at a point in time where they didn't know just how much was actually going to be seen by the player. So they obviously had the mindset that Mario could get eaten by the eel, but the 3D modeling team, they likely weren't told how far that would actually happen. So in the final game, if you get eaten by the eel, it's instant death. But they likely had an idea where you'd go inside the eel and figure out a way to get out of it, or things like that. So that's a big reason why stuff like that happens. Where is the... It's over there.
Oh, the coins are in the shape of a heart. Oh, it's so cute.
So anyway, we'll be going over this way now, and we got the super shiny star. Face Plexum says I'm keeping these. Hope you enjoyed the pickup lines. So that's going to be it for today's Gator stream. So thank you all so much for watching. I would love to do more of these sometime, because it's really fun to just casually stream a game like this. So yeah, let's save the game and then we'll leave. So I don't know how many other casual Gator streams we're gonna have around this time of year, because normally around this time of year, most of my videos are usually just dedicated to the 12 days of gaming. But I will say the last 2 days of the 12 days of gaming this year will be live streamed. We will have an episode of Animal Crossing New Horizons that will be live streamed, as well as the very last day. That will also be covered under a live stream as well. I haven't announced what the game is on the very last day of this year, and I won't announce it until the live stream starts, but it is something that is going to be live streamed as well. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So look forward to more stuff on the channel. We will be taking care of the rest of the 12 days of gaming this year. Tomorrow's episode will be showcasing SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. And that's gonna be pretty fun. The main Let's Plays, like I mentioned on Twitter, they are currently on hiatus. Breath of the Wild will return in January, so that's gonna be pretty fun. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Three's Production says, I said it once and I'll say it again. Every time I watch yours and Pies' streams, I learn so much. It's great. I really do appreciate you coming to watch. It's always really fun. Agent 335 says, ouch, I can imagine having a shine sprite in your tooth would be pure torture. That would be torture. It was fun watching. I'll see you later. Have a nice night. And I'll see you again. Goodbye. Agent 335 says, Sneak King. Sneak King, what would I ever do without you? So anyway, thank you all so much for watching tonight's Gator stream. And next time, leave the gear to you. Oh yeah.